Raven ELYSE TV.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven, and I don't know about you, but I'm having a great day. I am having a fantastic day. Today, the Fenty Beauty products launched in Sephora, Rihanna's new makeup line. I was so freaking excited for this launch ever since I first heard about it, because y'all know, and in case you don't know, I freaking love Rihanna. Like, that is my mom, that is my soulmate, that is my style icon. Anything that she touches has a special place in my heart. So when Fenty Beauty launched today in Sephora, best believe I ran to Sephora and I got my hands on all of the products that I wanted. I was so glad that the way that she launched this product was not like super exclusive, limited edition, low stock, gonna sell out. When I checked online this morning before I went to the mall, nothing was out of stock. I'm not sure right now, but I went to the store and nothing was out of stock. So it was a nice leisurely shopping experience. I mean, I went to Sephora right when it opened, but I probably didn't really even need to do that. So she's not having low stock on purpose just to hype up the product. So I was really happy that I got my hands on everything that I wanted. So of course, we're gonna go through all of the products. We're gonna demo, we're gonna review, we're gonna do our first impressions, we're gonna try it on the face, we're gonna swatch it, we're gonna have a good old time. But real quick, before we do all that, I wanted to remind you guys to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Even if you have subscribed in the past, double check that you're still subscribed, because YouTube be acting shady and unsubscribing people. So make sure you're subscribed, and also hit that little bell button next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I upload. All right, now let's get into this. I do have some makeup on my face just from when I went to the mall earlier, but I am going to be removing this and trying on the foundation and everything. Funny story, this purchase actually bumped me up to VIB Rouge in Sephora. They gave me this little goodie bag, but I'm sure y'all don't care what's in there right now. Let's get into the Fenty Beauty. So I spent a total of $274.96. So for 275 bucks, I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 products. I'll tell you right off the bat, the two main things that I did not get are the blotting powder and the blotting papers. But I got the sponge and I got one of the brushes, so we're gonna see how these tools work. First of all, the packaging of everything is really cute. I like the vibes. It's kind of got a graffiti, kind of very edgy black with a very, very light blush pink. So definitely on trend with all of these blush tones, nude tones, pink tones. And when you open up the beauty sponge, it's just in plastic like this. So just as a little comparison, this is a black beauty blender. Obviously it's dirty, but this is completely dry. And this is the Fenty sponge, completely dry. So one side of it is rounded and the other side is completely flat. So when you turn it to the side, it looks like that. And then obviously you guys have all seen a beauty blender before. So they're actually pretty similar in size when they're dry. So I'm guessing they're gonna be similar in size when they're wet as well. So this is how it looks when it's damp. It definitely increased in size. Now you can see it's a little bit bigger than the dry beauty blender. So I would say it's about the same exact size, feel, kind of thing as a beauty blender, but obviously it's just a different shape. In terms of how it feels, it's very, very similar to the beauty blender or the Real Technique sponge. I would say it's almost like a mix between the two. It's definitely not rubbery or cheap like those other knockoff beauty blenders like that you get at the drugstore that are just nothing like the actual beauty blender. This one is actually very close to the beauty blender. And the cool thing about this sponge is that it is $16, so it's cheaper than the beauty blender. Now onto the Pro Filt'r Primer. This is a soft matte primer that is supposed to give you a smooth, pore refining finish. And it says it is supposed to extend your makeup wear. Very cute, soft blush, frosted glass packaging. Love it. Looks very high end. And it has a pump, which I love. Thank you, Jesus. So obviously I'm going to be applying this primer before I go in with the Pro Filt'r Foundation. So again, this is a soft matte foundation. It says it's supposed to be medium to full coverage for all. It's long wear. It's light as air. And like I said, I'm having a fantastic day. So when I went to Sephora today, honestly, you guys know how it is. Sometimes when you're in Sephora, it's kind of hit and miss in terms of the employees actually helping you. But the girl who was helping us today was super helpful, super knowledgeable. She knew all the facts, she knew all the tips and tricks when it came to the foundations and everything. So she was telling us how it really goes perfectly with the primer. You can even mix it in with the primer if you want a little bit more blendability with it, because she said that the foundation dries down pretty fast. And she helped me color match myself. I think we got a pretty good shade. There are 40, count them, 40 shades of this foundation. Let that sink in for a second. 40, I'm gonna say it again, count them, 40 shades of this foundation, going from the whitest of the printer paper white all the way down to the deepest dark that they always leave off of foundation ranges. Rihanna said, no, we're gonna do that on the first release. We're going all the way, the whole entire spectrum. So you should have no issue finding your shade in this foundation. She is giving you so many options, so many undertones, like literally everyone is represented. The only thing that might cause you trouble is you're actually gonna have too many options. So I definitely was choosing between about 3 different shades. But like I said, the girl at Sephora was very helpful, and we landed on shade number 290. So you can see how the primer and the foundation are in the same component. And of course the foundation has a pump as well, which I love. And I was with a couple of friends in Sephora when we were shopping, and so I was looking at them getting color matched and trying the foundation on, and it looked so good. Like, we all have different skin tones and stuff. It looked so good on them. It dries down to such a nice finish. Like, just from the little sample in the store, I'm kind of like, okay. So I'm really excited to see how it works on me. You guys know I have problem skin. I have a lot of breakouts right now. Right now I'm wearing Marc Jacobs foundation because it's really full coverage. This is supposed to be medium to full coverage. It is supposed to be buildable, so we're gonna see if I can build it up to really cover my problem skin. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe like the lower half of my face for now. In case you're new to my channel, in case you haven't seen any of my skincare or other makeup videos, I definitely have very problem skin. I have a lot to cover, so we're really gonna be putting this foundation to the test. I'm actually gonna go ahead and leave my forehead just so we can kind of compare like what I usually wear, my super full coverage, the shade I usually wear, compared to putting the Fenty Beauty down here. Okay, so going in with the soft matte primer first, I'm just going to pump some of this onto my fingers. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, it has a sweet, like a subtle sweet cupcakey kind of smell to it, like very subtle. And this feels very smooth on the skin, like very smooth. So the primer gets 2 thumbs up from me. It smells great, it feels great, it has a really nice finish. I love the packaging. It has a pump, which is awesome. Okay, so now the fun part. Let's go in with this foundation. And of course, I'm gonna go ahead and use her sponge because I'm guessing, you know, these are supposed to go together. And I'm just gonna start off with a couple of pumps on the back of my hand. So it is a more liquidy foundation. You can see it's very runny down the back of my hand. And just pick up some product and let's see. Now, one thing I know from getting color matched in the store and seeing my friends being color matched in Sephora, some of these shades do oxidize. So you definitely want to wait a minute before you just decide on your shade. If you're shopping in the store, definitely let it sit on your skin for a minute to really see how it's going to oxidize on your skin. Wait a minute. I was just talking up a storm and then I looked and I was like, hold on. That coverage is actually pretty good. Hold on. But yeah, I tried out a few shades that did oxidize on me, so I ended up going down a shade and going down a shade again just to make sure it wouldn't look too dark. So I think this shade that I landed on is going to be pretty good. So you can see it looks a little bit light, but it does kind of start to oxidize a little bit. I do feel like because it is such a liquidy foundation and I'm using this really soft sponge, the sponge is soaking up a lot of the product. It might be better to go in with a brush first if you're trying to save on product. But the other brush that I didn't get, I got the contour or like the highlighting brush, but the other brush that she has is a foundation brush, I believe. So maybe I should have got that brush so I could see how it is with the brush. But I mean, I'm sure any one of my other brushes would work really well too. I'm just using the sponge because I wanted to see how this sponge would work. I am going in with another pump and kind of another layer just to build it up a little bit. Again, I have problem skin, so I am a little bit more heavy-handed with my foundation. I like to get full coverage out of it if I can, but that's pretty good coverage for it not really trying to be a full coverage foundation. It's marketed as more of a medium coverage foundation, but it's definitely buildable, as you can see. It blends into the skin really, really easily. It doesn't cake up or start like clumping up. That sounds gross, but you know, like some thicker foundations, you can't put on too many layers of it because it'll really start to build up. This one is thinner, so you can actually layer it up. But as you can see, it starts drying down pretty quickly to where it's not greasy or oily. It has a nice little dew to it, you know, you can see right here. Depending on your skin type, you might not even need to use powder with it at all, because when my friends were trying it in the store, they put it all over their whole face, didn't even set it. We went out to lunch afterwards and it was like they just got their makeup done basically because they just put on a layer of this foundation, no powder or anything, and it looked great. So boom, that's about 3.5 pumps of foundation to cover the lower half of my face. I'm impressed, y'all. Even over all of my acne, all of my problem skin, my oily skin, I have everything wrong with my skin that you could think of, and it did the job. I'm happy with the color that I chose. I love the finish of this with no powder or anything. It dries down to a really nice, like skin-like, semi-dewy, I mean, it's soft matte. I feel like the soft matte name is definitely very appropriate for this. And you can compare the coverage to the Marc Jacobs that I still have on my forehead, and that super full coverage compared to this coverage, it's, I mean, it's doing a pretty good job. And I am freaking picky about my foundations. I have returned so many foundations to Sephora because it just didn't do it for me. So the primer is $32 and the foundation is $34. The foundation is only $34. The primer is awesome. The foundation is awesome. Buy it, just buy it. So yeah, let's just move on to the next set of products, which is this trio right here. These are the match sticks, and I ended up going with the trio set. There's four different trio sets that you can choose from, but you can also buy these sticks individually and just get whichever ones you want individually. But I thought this was a pretty good deal because you can get the trio for $54 for all three rather than paying for 3 separate ones. And I liked this trio. This is medium 200, so it shows you right here which 3 sticks are in here, and basically it's kind of like a contour, a concealer, and a highlight shimmer stick. The cool thing about these is that all the sticks are magnetized, so they all stick together, so you can create your own little trio. You can stick a bunch of them together if you want to just stand them up on your table, or you want to throw them in your purse. You can stick them together so they stay together. I thought that was a cute little touch. So the contour stick that comes in this one is mocha. So all the sticks look like this. So all the sticks look the same. The concealer type sticks, the darker contour sticks, and then the shimmer sticks, which do come in a couple of like wild colors. They're all the same packaging and the same shape, but they're just kind of like different products. But the people in Sephora kind of explained to me that they're kind of just like multi-use products. Of course, this one, the easiest thing to do would be to use it as a contour stick, but if you want to use it on your eyes, wherever else, they said that that's fine. And then of course you could do whatever you want with the concealer type sticks, and then especially with the shimmer sticks, they're totally just like multi-purpose. The lady in Sephora who was helping us was wearing this particular stick, which is called Trippin', on her lips. She was wearing it on her eyes, and she was wearing it on her cheeks. So here's my like concealer stick. This is called Bamboo. I feel like the idea behind these sticks, especially like putting them in a trio and making a bunch of different colors and tones, was kind of just like to stick them together, throw them in your purse, take them on the go, take them to travel, and just like easily like do stick makeup, like concealer, contour, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, and then like you're done. So it's just kind of like a multi-purpose, easy, fast type of thing, because there is like a really bright orange, there's a pretty bright purple, there's like a bunch of different ones you can kind of like play around with. But this is the medium 200 trio. I'm just gonna start off with my concealer, which is Bamboo, and I'm gonna see how this does under the eyes. So just draw it on like that. I'm also going to kind of highlight my face a little bit here and here, and then we can see how this blends out with the sponge. So I'm going to use the back of the sponge and just dab under my eye, over my lid a little bit. What? I was expecting it to be harder to blend out because it is pretty like thick and creamy. Sometimes stuff like that doesn't want to like blend across your face, but that actually, the edges of that blended out pretty quickly. So yeah, even though this is not even marketed as like a full coverage under eye concealer or anything like that, I feel like it still did a pretty good job underneath my eyes. I definitely think it's good for just like highlighting the high points of your face. Oh, and another cool thing that they told me at Sephora is that Rihanna basically like they formulated this whole little color chart where basically once you pick your foundation shade, it tells you which contour and concealer and like highlight sticks would probably go best with your skin tone. So basically once you pick your foundation shade, you can just look it up in the book and it'll tell you which one of these sticks to get. So I'm just gonna go ahead with the contour stick and put it where I normally would. I'll put a little bit on my forehead even though I kind of already had some product there. And normally for cream contour, I never blend it out with the sponge. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the regular brush that I normally would use. And that blended really easily. Like, what the heck? What the heck? Like, you guys are gonna see what I mean when you try these products, because when you're putting it on your face, you're like, whoa, this is pretty creamy, this is pretty thick. It looks like it's gonna be hard to blend, and then like you just run your brush across it and it's blended. Like, how? I like it, I like it, I like it, like it. And I didn't put any highlight right here the first time, but now I have the contour on, so I kinda wanna make my jawline pop even more, so you can easily just draw some more highlight on. I really like these little sticks, they're really easy to work with. So boom, there's the contour and like concealer highlight sticks on. I really like them. I definitely really like the contour stick. I've been using kind of a similar product from NYX for a very long time that's actually just a foundation stick, but this one I think is even a better tone for me. It blends out even easier than what I've been using. I like it. I would definitely use that again. So I did not purchase the blotting powder that she came out with, which was basically like a translucent powder. I guess just because it wasn't as exciting as some of the other products, so I was trying to like prioritize. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my regular translucent powder by Cover FX to set under my eye a little bit. I'm actually not gonna set my whole face down or anything because I actually really like the finish of these products on their own without any powder. I think these products, like, you can definitely get away without setting them and just kind of set your really oily areas. Like, I get really oily around my nose right here, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of powder here, and then like I said, under my eye, and then maybe a little bit right in the center of my forehead just to mattify that a little bit. So the last stick out of the trio is this one, which is called Trippin'. So it's more of like a shimmery highlighter, blush, lip color, eye color type of stick. I think it would be pretty to put on your cheekbones or put as blush. Well, I guess we can try it as blush, but I also want to try it on my eyes because I definitely have some other highlighters that I want to use actually on my cheekbones. So it's a very shimmery, shiny, metallic, peachy. Like, you can see when it catches the light, it's very golden. Maybe I'll put a little bit on my cheeks right here just for funsies. It is pretty dang shimmery though, so it might be a bit much to really go all out on the apples of the cheeks. I think it's better as like an actual highlighter, but just to give me a little flush of color right here. So that's pretty, but I definitely want to put some on my eyes as eyeshadow. I think it might be easier if I actually just get it on my finger first and then tap it on. Yeah, that works a lot better. It's hard to do this with long nails. I'm just trying to get like a little wash of glow, a little wash of color on my eyes, because I do feel like kind of the whole vibe of this whole line is just like effortless, glowy, just like that effortless cool girl. Like, she just throws on a quick little and then she just looks like healthy and glowy and cool, but like maybe with a little pop of color here and there, maybe like a little crazy highlight or something. So I think just kind of like tapping on a little bit of lid color, some cheek color, and then like really bling and highlight. I feel like that's kind of the vibe. So that's a nice little little glow on the eyes. Again, when it comes to these sticks, there's like a bunch of different colors of them that you can experiment with on the eyes, on the lips, on the cheeks, whatever you want to do. And if you like cream highlighters, then there's definitely a lot of shades to choose from if you want more of that natural highlight on the cheek. But I like blinging highlights and I like powder highlights, so you know I had to get some of that Kilowatt. So I got 2 Kilowatt products, which are her powder highlights, and then I also got the highlighting brush. She had a couple of different brushes and I just went with this one because it looked like it was the most unique. So this is the number 120 cheek hugging highlight brush, and here's what the brush is looking like. So it's got silver and pink. It's really pretty. That's honestly the main reason why I wanted it, because it's pretty. But it is also a unique brush if you look at the shape of it and the way that the bristles are kind of shaved down on the sides. Like, it has a very unique shape, so it's kind of supposed to hug your cheek like this. So the first Kilowatt product that I got is a duo. There's a couple of different duos that you can get. I chose the one that is Mean Money and Hustler Baby. No! I was trying to open it and I dug my nail into one of them. It's ruined. It's not ruined. It's completely still usable, but it looks ugly now. Oh, why? Okay, but anyway, the one that I dug my nail into is Mean Money, so it's a little bit more toned down. Like, it doesn't look as metallic in the pan. It's a little bit lighter. And then this one over here is Hustler Baby, which looks super metallic and pretty, and I swatched it in the store and oh my goodness. So right here, blingin', that's Hustler Baby, so that's the more blingin', super metallic highlight. You can see it's very blingin'. And then over here next to it, you can almost barely see it honestly, is the more toned down Mean Money highlight. So there is a bit of shine there, but it's definitely nowhere near as blingin' as the other one. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the brush and just put on a little bit of Mean Money just to kind of see what it does, but I already know I'm gonna like Hustler Baby more. I feel like this is almost the type of powder that you can kind of like put underneath the eyes just to brighten up a little bit, because it's not metallic at all, but it will brighten up and it will give you a little bit of that reflect just to like, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like a shimmering setting powder, if that makes sense. But we're about to amp it up. Ooh! Ooh! Holy moly. Very like champagne-y gold undertones to it. So it's not like bright white or anything like that, which I don't like on my skin tone. But I really like this type of shade for like an everyday highlight. I could probably go a little less heavy-handed for an everyday highlight look, especially because this brush does kind of cover a large surface area going across your whole cheek. So you want to kind of be careful with that if you don't want it to look like this. But I actually don't mind this. Like, this is me all the way. I don't even think that this is too much. There's no cast to it when you turn your face to the other side. There's no chalkiness. It's not super powdery. You can see there's like barely any kickback or fallout. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like barely any fallout. So these are definitely not powdery. They're not chalky. They don't have a weird texture or anything. Like, I already knew all this because I played with it in the store, but I'm also just gonna take the little tip, the little point of the brush and pick up some more of it and highlight my nose. This is kind of handy dandy because the way that the brush is shaped, you don't have to like, I don't have to switch to a smaller brush. It's really pretty. Like, I feel like what I got going on right now is very like healthy, just healthy glowing skin. It's actually not too over the top. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even feel like it's doing too much. Like, it just looks very pretty and healthy. But speaking of over the top, I had to get the Trophy Wife Kilowatt highlighter. So these are duos. You get like the softer one and the more blingin' one. This one is just a single highlighter. I think she did that on purpose because she knew that this one was going to be a crowd favorite, because this is the super yellow gold, super glittery, super shimmery one. Trophy Wife on the back, and it's in the same packaging, except obviously you get way more product in this one because it's just the one highlight. Look how pretty that is. Oh my god, oh my goodness. First of all, look how it looks on my finger. It's super yellow gold. So this is what it looks like on the skin, and that's actually pretty sheared out. Like, I really kind of like rubbed it into the skin. So what I definitely want to do first is dip into this with the brush and put it on my collarbone. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. If you want to be summertime fine, get you a tan, oil yourself up, and put this all over your collarbone and shoulders. Yes, this is definitely goddess summertime vibes. I feel like on camera with these bright lights, it's kind of like blasting it out and you can't even fully get the full effect on camera, but in person it just has such a pretty like sparkle to it, and the golden like pigment definitely shows up, but not too crazy to where you're running around looking like SpongeBob. Now I already have all this highlighter on my face, but why not just dip into this one more time and just see, and just add it to the highest points. Ooh. See, there you can really see like the yellow gold. So I really like this. I think it's fun. I think it's different. I think definitely on the body in the summertime, mix it in with your body oil and put it all over your legs, put it all over your arms, do whatever you want to do. I think it's just a fun product to have. Is it going to be great for every day on everybody's skin tone? Maybe not. It might be a little bit much for that, but I think it's almost kind of like a collector's item. Like, it just looks so pretty in the pan, and I definitely would wear it, like definitely on my collarbones and shoulders. And by the way, the brush is $32 and the Kilowatt compacts are $34. All right, so I'm back. I just went and put on some lashes, touched up my eyebrows a little bit, and then I added a little bit of just powder blush just because I didn't have like a powder Fenty Beauty blush product to use. So I kind of just, you know, finished off the face a little bit, and then of course I sprayed some setting spray. And now the very last step is the lips. So I do have the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb lip gloss. There's actually just one shade. It is a universal lip luminizer, and the shade is called Fenty Glow. So when you look at the color in the packaging, it just looks like a very like your lips but better type of color. But I am gonna go ahead and line my lips just because the lip gloss looks kind of weird on me without any kind of like dimension around the edges. So I'm just gonna use this NYX kind of like a nude shade. So you can see there definitely is some pigment to it, but it's mostly just very glossy. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, a few little, definitely not glittery, but just a little bit shimmery, like a few little reflex throughout it, just to give you that super glossy look when it hits the light. First of all, I love this applicator. It's a nice big soft doe foot applicator. It smells so good. It has that similar scent to like the primer, kind of like a sweet, almost like, I don't know, marshmallow cupcake, but like very subtle and like in a sophisticated way, if that makes sense. So yeah, this lip gloss definitely has some body to it. It has some thickness to it. Like, it gives you that oomph if you like a really glossy lip. I'm not necessarily a glossy lip kind of girl, just because it gets annoying when like your hair gets stuck to it and all that stuff. But this is really pretty. It is a very pretty natural lip color on me, at least. I feel like it just kind of amped up my natural lip color. So definitely if you are a lip gloss kind of girl and you're looking for a nice natural lip gloss, I would definitely recommend this. And yeah guys, that was the last product. That brings us to the end of my Fenty Beauty review. I'm kind of sad. I wish I had more products to play with, but again, I did not get the blotting translucent powder and I did not get the blotting papers, and there are a lot, well I was gonna say a few, but there are a lot more shades of these sticks and a few more shades of the Kilowatt highlighters that I did not get. So honestly right now I'm thinking I want to go back to Sephora and get even more colors of stuff, because I really do like these products. I mean, you can just tell that Rihanna, I mean, she says she worked on this for over 2 years, I believe. So this is not just like a get rich quick scheme for her. This is not just something that she threw together with a really cheap packaging or anything like that. Like, this is well thought out. The formulas are great, the price points are fair, the packaging is really, really nice. It's unique, but it's functional at the same time. I mean, Rihanna was quoted as saying that this was her passion project, so I do see the passion that she put into it. I do see that it was, you know, it was well thought out. There was time and effort put into making sure that the formulas were A1, the packaging was nice, everything like that. So yeah, I'm sold. The entire line, everything that I tried, that I purchased and swatched in the store gets a good review from me. There's really nothing in here that I don't like or that I don't see myself using again in the future. Like, I literally see myself using all of this stuff again. I actually really, really like the primer and the foundation, I would definitely use that every day. I would definitely use the highlighter every day. And I mean, even right down to the brush and the sponge. These are not just throwaway tools. I mean, like some other brand, KKW, the brush and the sponge is just like a throwaway add-on thing, but this is not just a throwaway add-on. Like, these are actually really good tools that I will continue to use with all the rest of my makeup. I mean, honestly, everything that Rihanna touches turns to gold. She don't play around about the stuff that she puts her name on. Riri girl, what did you do? That, I mean, come on, KKW is shaking. She's quaking. She's shook. This is how you do nude packaging. This is how you do a celebrity makeup line. Take notes, I'm just saying. So yeah guys, let me know down below what you guys think of these products. Are you going to be purchasing any of them? Did you get your hands on any of them already? Let me know down below which is your favorite and which ones you're gonna be picking up. And also, before I go, I wanted to wish a huge happy birthday to Kaylin Elise. I heard it was your birthday soon on September 11th, so I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. It's lit. Turn up one time for your girl. Your brother CJ hit me up and told me it was gonna be your birthday, told me that you're a supporter of mine, so I just wanted to make sure to wish you a very, very happy birthday. But yeah guys, that is everything. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!